sometimes young coaches who are single can get the love from their team. Becky, do you want to just kind of deconstruct what you said earlier?
Oh, we had a little retreat with a bunch of young coaches, and we were talking about a lot of them were single, and we were talking about that, and we were saying that the dangerous thing about coaching in some ways is that you can get just enough emotional connection from it that it sort of makes you not really need a social life or not really need any type of other relationship fulfillment because you can get that from your team, and not like in a weird way, but just in a way that it fills you. And that's hard because that pushes you farther away from really being healthy and expanding yourself outside of your team.
And then Becky, to that point, I mean, you can look at it if you do have a partner, one, how that can create distance inside the partnership. But then two, if you are single, how it can isolate you from developing a partnership. And one of the things that I talked to Bill Beswick about after that, when you shared that with me, is that's the challenge, right? Because sometimes people miss their window because of that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think it's just one of those things that you pour yourself into it, which then leaves you without a lot of energy to spend on a relationship even if you want to, and you get something back that fulfills the need that you might not have to feel like you would feel a need if you didn't have that team. So it sort of gives you it on both sides.
And Bill said it feels real enough that unless you've experienced something that's more pure and more authentic, you will mistake that for something maybe that it isn't. And
Yeah, Bill
unfortunately,
says that much more eloquently than I did.
but and oftentimes it's when the job ends or the career ends that you start to discern some of those things. And that kind of segues into what we were just talking about when everyone else was in that breakout room. Again, this is all new content for you. You've not heard this. We haven't really talked a lot about this. What were you saying in our breakout room?
It's isolating to be healthy. So the hard part is like, for example, I feel like I left the career of coaching in a very healthy space, but it was not without going against the tide. There were so many times where it was like, oh, Becky's not this enough, or that she's distracted, or she has all these outside interests. And to me, like, I feel like that's my way of finding myself to give my best energy to my team. But to others, it could be seen as, she's not focused enough. And then, but the thing is when you get on the other side of it, so like you get to the point where now I'm out of it and everybody wants to be me. Like they want to be healthy like I am, but they're not willing to trade this because there's too much pressure to not be this.
A lot of the Power Five ADs went to Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, just because they had all their meetings out there, the conference meetings. And the AD said to me that he's never heard the word finish line as much as he's heard this year when people reference their careers. And I'm going to just quote, he goes, "How fucked up is this? That we're all working hard to protect the jobs that we don't even enjoy." That's what the guy said to me. How about that? And then he takes it a step further. And then he says, how many people do you think would look at me and say I'm successful? And if that's the picture of success, protecting a job you don't even like, what is going on?